Hi, Steve here. And it was March 23rd, 1997, which is 27 years ago, that the being named Abrahamanad incarnated to be the soul of the earth for the next 13,000 years. So that seems pretty far-fetched. Well, it's what I experienced, what I was told, and seems good enough to me. So I'm just going with that. And I thought today that there would be something, a video to make that would just kind of acknowledge that we have exactly, 365 days to go to complete the 28-year cycle and the last year of the 7-year cycle of spiritual cleansing. So you might ask, well, what's it mean, spiritual cleansing? And I would just say, well, my experience of it has been that all my stuff keeps coming up to face and to let go of. And so if there's anything that you feel like you haven't done, not to put yourself under a lot of pressure, because the times are putting enough pressure onto each of us to discover what it is that we need to personally let come up to the surface and release. But I was noticing today, and so I do energy work, healing work, working with energy, that I've done, for the last 50 some years. I think starting in 72 was when I began doing this work. And then I've just, done it in various forms over the past 50 some years. And so when I have a day like today, which just feels like the energy's off, and I just keep checking in with myself, like, how are my energies? And I realized that my energies feel kind of disturbed by the disturbance. So it feels like the world feels disturbed, and I feel disturbed by that disturbance. So what I do when I feel that way is I typically set up a healing field, and then I work the energy of that field. So that was my sense, my intuition, that it would be good for me to set up a field and work with the energies of that field and invite you to work with those energies of the field. Even if you're watching this a week from now, you can still work with those energies of the field for yourself. And many of you who are beginning to kind of watch my videos from time to time and do some of the healing work, you may be aware that you are working with this, even if you're not consciously aware of it. So what I'm first going to suggest that we do is we just state out loud, I connect with my deep self, and then feel yourself dropping into the core of yourself. You might experience it as being inside your spinal column. You might experience it as being at the very core of yourself. You may experience the movement of fluids up and down your spinal column, the cerebrospinal fluids. You may feel them going up and down. Some people describe it as an elevator. Typically, it will slow you down and you'll begin feeling more peaceful. Yeah, and you may begin feeling a greater sense of calm. And that's the energy we're going to stay in and work with as we let that energy just build and move out through this field of disturbed energy, if you want to call it. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like disturbed energy. And so as I just stay inside my deep self, I'm going to be pouring, I'm going to be filling my own systems up, my circulatory system, my digestive system, my respiratory system, my lymphatic system, my acupuncture meridian system, my um, emotional body, my emotional energy body, my mental energy body, my astral energy body, um, and many, many more bodies. But as we stay inside of our deep self and we feel the energy of that deep self and we feel that energy, it moves actually slower than my hands are moving right now. It's more maybe 16 passes in, the course of a minute. So it's not as quick as our respiration. Um, but so as we're breathing, we're typically breathing faster than that cerebral spinal fluid pulse moves. But when we're connected with our deep self, we're connected with a deep state of peace and a feeling of calm. And we let that state of peace and that feeling of calm just radiate out through our body. And as we're doing that, I'm going to set up a healing field. I'm going to start off by saying I set up a healing field for Steve and this is where you would state your name if you wanted to have a healing field set up for you. So I choose to set up a healing field for Steve and I ask that our helpers and guides please be present. And I ask that the Brotherhood of Light please be present. The Deva of Healing please be present. Pan of Nature please be present. The Sisterhood of Light please be present. All of our helpers and guides please be present. Saint Germain please be present. Metatron please be present. Kuan Yin please be present. Master Mo please be present. Master Kunli please be present. Christ Consciousness please be present. The Holders of Space please be present. Sanat Kumara please be present. Abrahamanad, please be present. Alcazar, please be present. The interdimensional being, please be present. Thoth, please be present. Ra, please be present. The higher self, please be present. Our soul ray group, please be present. And the deep self, please be present. I ask that we be placed in a field of protection while we do this work. I ask the higher self to take us through the portal of time to the event that would be of the highest good to release and integrate at this time. And upon arrival at the event, I invite all souls affected by this event to return to the event to release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves. I ask that they all be placed in a field of protection while they do their work. And upon our arrival at the event, I ask the higher self to assist us to release and integrate all energies of the event gently and easily, fully and completely, on all levels and through all space and time. Okay, the field is set up. Do your best to just remain in a state of being centered in your deep self, just stabilized in that peaceful place. And feeling the calm of that, and feeling that energy that's beginning to generate from the center of your being, from the cerebral spinal fluid flowing up and down, coating your spinal cord, for the opening of the energetics that open up when that energy is moving up and down. And if you already are feeling like things are lightening up a little bit, which I am here where I am, I'm feeling like those energies are beginning to lighten up, then just keep working with those energies while remaining inside the core of yourself. So you can be thinking, hearing, noticing what's going on. And yet, as your attention is at your core, you'll feel yourself, you'll feel your energy rising up and down through your core. And as it gets up, you may begin to notice it having an effect on your third eye and having an effect on your pituitary gland. It'll have effect on your thyroid and your thymus, your pancreas, your adrenal glands, your gonads. All those will be affected in a really nice way. They'll just be energized by this movement of energy up and down the spine. At a certain point, the energy on the top of the head, the crown chakra, will begin to open up. And I've noticed that that has been an area that I've been working with for a couple days now, that crown chakra opening up, that third eye opening up, I've been feeling this tension in the forehead. I've been feeling like this kind of pain in the ears. It feels like we're on another level of the vibrations going up. And when we can match those vibrations from our deep self, it'll make it a lot easier for our body to process what it's dealing with. Typically, I might just turn this video off at this point so people can continue working with the energetics that they're feeling for themselves. But I'm not feeling that I need to do that. I feel like it's best for me if I just stay here for a bit as we work with these energies together. So I don't know how long this video is gonna be. A lot of energies are moving, and I want to just stay focused by being on the video. I want to stay focused on being in the central core of myself. And this is called the spinal cord, spinal column, cerebral spinal fluid, the space where the kundalini energies rise that kind of open up our energetic field. It's also, if you know the term torus, T-O-R-U-S, torus is like a donut. So it's got a form that's a ring, and then the outside of the donut is the same energy as the inside of the donut. And that energy moves through the donut. And physically, we are a torus. So we have an energy center through the center when it's open. And that energy, when it's moving up and down through the center of that torus, is also then at a certain point begins to open up through the crown chakra, and then a fountain goes out and around us and down. And that energy comes back up through the feet and comes back up again and goes out and around and back down and comes up through the feet again. It's also going up and out and down and out as well. So the energy that's going down and out the feet, then comes up and around and comes up and goes back in. So we have energy coming up and going out like a fountain and going all the way on all sides of us. You know, it's like a shower head. It comes out and it goes out like a wide shower head all around us and keeps coming up to the feet and going out again. So it's just like this energy is just flowing out in that way. But that energy is also coming in and down and going out our feet and back up again. So this energy is moving in both directions. It's moving in that direction, it's moving in that direction. And it's all moving at the same time. So it's like see a bunch of dolphins, you know, they're just moving through, and some of them are moving in other directions. This is what happens when the energy starts opening up. And this energy is opening up much easier than it used to. And it used to be when anybody talked about Kundalini energy, they talked about kind of maybe accidentally opening up the Kundalini energy. The Kundalini energy, when it opens up naturally and spontaneously and on its own because we connect with our deep self, then it typically won't open up in a way that causes discomfort. It'll normally just, it's a natural opening that's taking place, and you wouldn't be led to my video unless you are ready to have this energy open up. And this energy is a real cleansing energy. So as you feel it come up and go out and down and back up again, out and down, know this also coming in, down and out, and back up, and in, and down and out. So as you focus your attention, you can focus on your breath. Just your inhale and your exhale. And as you focus on your breath, to the best of your ability, keep your attention inside that pranic tube, inside your deep self, inside that place of peace and calm. And you may just feel things begin to happen. So sometimes this tension, like I'm feeling this tension that I was aware of around the ears, around the cheekbones, beginning to release. So as that energy comes into that area, it's helping us to release this kind of fight or flight energy seems to be coming out. And I was noticing earlier the way the world was feeling. I was feeling kind of a panic response in my chest. And so that panic is related to this fight or flight, and it's related to this jaw tightness, and it's related to this occipital tension, and possibly shoulder tension, rib tension, and hip and pelvis tension. And so as we begin just going back into that peace and that calm at the center of our being, and let that just keep flowing outwards, we can feel its effect in releasing our jaw. And when we're releasing our jaw, and once we start releasing our jaw, if we don't try to stop releasing our jaw, sometimes it'll keep going. So you may find yourself yawning and yawning and yawning and yawning. And I would say that if that happens, if you yawn for 15, 20, 25 minutes, you will feel like you've been on a 2-week vacation. Because we used to do this as part of some classes that a friend of mine and I used to teach people about letting go. But anyway, continue that movement of that energy up and down, up and out, up and out, up and out, and down and out. And there goes the yawn again, and down. It's because my mother told me cover your mouth when you're sneezing or yawning or whatever. So, and even though she's passed away, I still, maybe on a spirit level, she's watching me. Oh no, he's yawning with his mouth open. Well, you can't help but yawn with your mouth open, because that's what a yawn is. Just a big opening of the mouth, and it's a big release of tension through this area, base of the skull, sphenoid bone. Those all release with this. And every once in a while, I just run my fingers over the finger pad of the computer to just let the computer know that I still want this video to keep going. But every once in a while, these videos will just stop while I'm recording, and if it does that, we'll be fine, and I'll start it back up with another video. You may be feeling a lot of tension coming out of the upper part of your back, lower part of your neck. And again, that kind of, I've noticed that I was holding myself like this today. My wife was expressing that she was feeling these energies today. We don't have to figure out what those energies are yet. If we go inside, if we connect with our deep self and we go inside the center portion of ourself and we let those beautiful, peaceful, calm energies move, it will begin to lift up this energetic from wherever it's coming from. And it may just be an event that we needed to clear, and oftentimes that'll happen if there's an event that needs to be cleared. Somebody will call me up for a session, or I'll just set a field up for myself and work with the energy. Now, the world healing field is more of energetics that are going on all the time. So the world healing field, there's constantly things happening that are bubbling up energetically, and I'm working with those, but that field is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's been open since the end of January of 2020. So it's been open over 4 years. That field is always open. And I have lots of people assisting me, people in physical bodies, assisting me to work with that field. Sometimes they touch into it, sometimes they don't. I need to be working with that field continuously. But it's gotten to the point where it's gotten easier to do, although for whatever reason the last 7 months I found it to be kind of as challenging as the first 7 months. But we just keep moving that energy up and out, up, out, up, out, and in and down, in and down, in and down. I went to the 13moon.com, which is a website for the Mayan calendar, because I wanted to look up what of the 20 kin, so the day you were born on puts you in a grouping of kin. You might be a red dragon, or you might be a blue eagle, or you might be a yellow seed, or you might be a white wizard. But anyway, there's 20 of them. There's 4 colors and 5 kin for each color, so there's a total of 20 kin. So I wanted to look up who are the kin of the day of the bringing in of Abrahamanad on March 23rd, 1997, and it turned out that day was the group was it was a blue planetary storm day. So blue storm was the day that Abrahamanad came in, and today, I think, trying to remember, I knew what today was. I looked it up. A friend of mine is one of these kin, but I can't. It might be a white world bridger. I think it might be a white wizard. Actually, I think it's a white wizard day today. So we're all in some ways wizards. We're all in some ways people who have come here with some skills to work with energies. People have developed more skills working with energies. And we're all here because something amazing is happening on the planet, and we can trust that it's happening, and it doesn't need to cause us to feel great. It can, but it doesn't need to cause us to feel great, or it doesn't need to cause us to feel bad either. Some of the time we might feel uncomfortable with what's happening. Sometimes we might feel like nothing's happening, which is, I haven't felt that in quite some time, but I like that feeling. It's like, oh, nothing's really happening. Everything's just kind of cruising along. And so we can feel a variety of different ways. So I was just given indication that because of the number of us that are working with this event that we went back to, that the event is cleared. So I'm going to go ahead and say these words. I ask the higher self in our soul group to assist all the souls that return to the event to combine with that part of their soul that had remained in the event and bring that combined soul back into their body in present time with all of its wisdom, power, and clarity. And I would ask all the souls to ground themselves into the healing center of the earth and open up the portal for the delivery of the new energies into the earth at this time. And I ask that those energies be brought in now through the portal. And you might feel those energies go in. And they go in very deep. They go to the healing center of the earth. You might feel those energies go in. You might be imagining it, but imagination is, what's the difference between experience and imagining an experience, and you're having the experience. So if you feel this energy go into the center of the earth and you go, oh, that's really lovely energy, then trust that you're having that experience. And then we ask that these energies be activated. And you might like the energy of activation. And then we let the universe and beyond know that this has been done and that it's good. So that's the healing session for today, March 23rd of 2024, and one more year. So that's my mantra, one more year, just one more year. We can do one more year of this spiritual cleansing. And we're doing it together, and I appreciate all your help. And if you appreciate my help, then appreciation noted and accepted. And it's good to be together doing this type of work. And so now let's go.